I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I'm never going to have to watch that video again. But you were wrong, because even though the campaign has ended, and successfully so, we're at $106,000 plus and almost 1,500 backers, but it's in demand. It's in demand. So that means it's still available, so people can drop in late that, you know, couldn't get there, didn't, maybe just heard about it, or saving their money. You know, you can still get in there and get the book. So I still got to promote it. Yeah. So anyway, let's see who's here on this fine day, which I believe is October 5th. Lady Celtic Moon says, I am here. She just announces it. I am here. And she's the first one here, apparently, or the first one that said anything. So welcome. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost always here. Joe Bernardo coming in from Vegas is here. Hey, Joe, thanks for joining us. This is a very Revon's Saber is here. Thanks for joining us. It's Travaco. Yeah, time to watch some magic happen. Yeah, you know it, man. Aaron Louvier is here. Jeff Potts, did Aaron get the marker out of his beard yet? Yeah, I did. And you know how I did it? I did it like this. Got it right out. So as you can see, it's much more brown, and it does. You know, if I get rid of this gray here, it'd take 10 years off me, just like that. The camera adds 10 pounds, and gray adds 10 years. So Sequential Treasures is tuning in just to see me draw FANG FOOM. So how about that? Lady Celtic Moon again chimes in with howdy, all from Texas. Jimmy Owens is here. Hey, Jimmy. Danky Frankie's here. Mythic Rare. I guess there's some clever names. Mythic Rare. I like that. Excuse me. Jeff Stout. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jeff. Okay, so I've been watching this on Heritage, and I kind of wanted to share it with you because I think it's cool. And if you're a fan of art, you should think it's cool too. Okay, this is a Bob Peak painting. That was one of the alternative movie posters for Apocalypse Now. I don't know if it was European or where it was, because it's not the standard US one we're used to seeing, but it's just a fantastic piece of artwork. If you dig Brando, if you dig sort of something with a creepy vibe to it, but it's just so well executed. So you're saying, okay, this Bob Peak was on Heritage, right? So the question then is, you're saying, Aaron, oops, wrong one. You're saying, Aaron, how much did it sell for? And it sold for $212,000, I believe. And then the person who bought it immediately put it back up for sale, saying they'd accept any offer of at least $312,000. So it sold on October 4th for $212,000, and then the guy who bought it is immediately selling it for no less than $312,000. So there you go. Joe's asking for King Kong. That's a possibility. King Kong's a possibility. So we have a few days left in October. Of course, I won't be on every day in October, but I will be on a lot. So I'm not doing a Fragtober thing where I'm on every single day, but I will be on. So we will. It's very possible we could get a King Kong. So you know. I think I just on this stream, I just gave you my password for, not password, but my username for Heritage auctions. So, but the password's not there. So I probably should go back and edit that out, but I'm probably not motivated enough to actually do that. So let's see here. It'd actually be easier for me just to change my username on Heritage than it would actually to actually edit that out of this video. Oh well. Well, yeah, you didn't see it because it was only on for a second, but someone could actually technically run through the video, stop it, and go, "Oh, there's Aaron's username." Of course, the password's not there, but still. Anyway. Yeah, I know. But the funny thing is, commercial art, if it's around long enough, eventually becomes fine art, right? And to me, being someone who's, inspired and motivated by illustration, not necessarily fine art, that is fine art to me, you know. You can see I kind of, if I was squeezing a sponge over my head with water dripping down, I might kind of have that Brando look, you know. I'm a little bit more fit than Brando was at the time of shooting for that film, but dang it, now I've got to change it again. Oh, look at this. He says the demon, please. He's begging for the demon. Boy, there's a lot of good choices, isn't there? Joe says, Aaron, I have a surprise for you for Wraith of God. Well, I can't wait. I love surprises. Anyway, Heritage is kind of cool. They charge that extra fee though that is like so much, it's like 20% or something. So whatever you bid, you have to add an additional 20% onto it. So I guess that you sort of have to kind of govern your bidding so that you don't go over when you have to add in that fee, whatever it's called. What do they call it? You guys know what I'm talking about. But it's 40 by 30 inches, that Brando piece. That's really good size. My gosh, that's like the size of the poster. That's pretty amazing. Actually, it's bigger. How big is a movie poster? Is 30, what is it? 42 by, I can't remember. Anyway, enough about that. So I'm going to get out my my pad, and now that I've totally fallen in love with tonal paper, I've only got 3 sheets left, so I'm going to have to get another pad. I've got some gray, but I don't think I have 9 by 12. I want to keep this smaller so it's more manageable when I start doing no, it's not an ADM fee. I mean, that may be what it is, but that's not what they call it. Oh, well, whatever. That's the combination some idiot would have on his luggage. Good old 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll never forget it. So I got my mom a refrigerator for her room, so she doesn't have to go downstairs as much because she's got bad knees. I mean, she's 90, and but I didn't get one of the small ones. I got one of the smaller ones, but has a freezer on top, so it's like big. It's sort of like a medium fridge, a medium small fridge. Does that make any sense? It's like one of those small fridges, but it's bigger because it has a freezer on top. And I just carried that up the stairs myself. Old man Lopresti, with now the gray out of his beard, is feeling quite young and vital. So carried that sucker up by myself. Thank you very much. That's what I'm talking about. The buyer's premium. That was the word I was looking for, the phrase or the term. Exactly. Everybody's, oh my gosh, someone else is using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I better change my code. Josh says, does this allege FANG FOOM? No, of course not. I draw, and then people, say, hey, is that for sale? And I say, of course it's for sale. And then if they want it, they buy it from me. I think it is. Spry. I am spry. Okay. So I've got my FANG FOOM reference out, and I'm ready to rock and roll. However, I do want to, for those of you, let me say this first. For those of you who are not subscribed to this channel and don't watch my Sunday show with Shelley Showtime, Please, well, first of all, remember to do this as a public service announcement. It's a little Halloween extra there. But so I'm told that you also need to like, pushing the like button helps the monetization of the video. So I don't know. So, but please, if you haven't subbed, sub. It's free, and it helps me help you. I don't know how, but I'm sure it does. So help me help you by subscribing to my channel and liking. Okay. Now, if you're a regular to the Sunday show, you've seen stuff like this before. But if you're not, this is some of the kind of extra content that you'll get on the Sunday show, which this little feature, we have different features and videos and things like that, and we snack pretty regularly. Um, One of the things I have pretty regularly is a little feature called Precious Moments. And I usually, after I show them, I erase them and we go on to the next one. But I did keep this one because I love it so much. So I'm going to share this little segment that I call Precious Moments from Yesteryear with you. This is from a couple weeks ago from my show. It makes me laugh every time. So that's the kind of content you get on the Sunday show if you've been missing out on that. So you don't want to continue to miss out on fun stuff like that. Tobias Patrick says, "Happy belated anniversary, Aaron. Now that Wraith of God has passed its first 30 days, actually its first 45 days. I should expect delivery by the weekend. Is that how it works? Your first campaign I've ever backed?" Yeah, that's pretty much not how it works. What I've done, Tobias, is successfully talked you into fronting me the money so I can draw the comic. So now you get the pleasure of waiting until like April. I'm going to try and deliver before then, but I will say this. I'm a little nervous about the printers because I'm already hearing horror stories that, shortages on paper, and like Billy Tucci, it's going to take him 60 days to get his omnibus printed and bound. I mean, that's just absurd. So my goal is to have the book finished in January sometime and then off to the printer in February. And hopefully they'll have be able to get me a 30-day turnaround, which is what I was originally planning on, if not sooner. But you never know, you know. But I will keep you guys completely updated all the time on a weekly basis on how it's coming, what's going, where it's at, when you'll get it, all that kind of stuff. So you'll never be in the dark. I do. It's nothing but highbrow, if nothing on this show. So you don't think they'll recognize me? Will they recognize this? Just curious. That's EVS's bat signal. What is the frog thing? Gabe's here, extraordinary colorist. Showing us some Bass Reeves stuff not too long ago that looked really, really sweet. Yeah, there's some shenanigans involved all the time, Tobias. I'm sorry that you had to learn that after you contributed to the campaign, but yeah, there will be shenanigans, so please count on that. But he does say the book looks awesome so far. Thank you. Now, my temptation is going to be to show you guys pages every time I do one, but if I do that, it'll sort of ruin the book for you. So I have to kind of pick and choose pages that I can show you in. I showed you the two pencils for pages 4 and 5, and of course 1, 2, and 3 are up on the. Actually, 1, 2, and 3 are inked and colored, and on the campaign page, along with pages 3 and 4 in the pencil form. And I will show you those inked, and I probably show you those colored as well. But I'm not going to show you page 6 or 7. When's the next one I can show you? 9, I think. I have to go back. When we introduce Esther to the story, I'll show you that page because that's actually kind of going to be a cool page. So I got to pick and choose spots, as I was saying, because there's a lot of in the story. There's a lot of little bit of story reveal, a little bit of story reveal. Flashback, reveal. A little bit of story, reveal. So it's not a linear story in that sense, and so it's like I can't. There's so many things that you don't know at the beginning that you find out as the story goes along, and I don't want to ruin those little surprises as we go along by showing you them too early. So I have to be careful. So, um, see, Tobias, he gets it. He says, you're a breath of fresh air. Keep it up. Humor doesn't always have to be dark. No, it doesn't. And this is a show all about light and airiness and heavy calories sometimes. Yeah, I agree. There's heavy calories consumed on this show, but nothing ever dark unless it's dark chocolate. Oh, come on, Joe. Kirk's brother's name is Sam. He only appeared in one episode, and that was the those little flying mucus things that left their stingers in people, and he was dead when he found him. He had a big old mustache too. He was down on the floor, and Kirk rolled him over, and it was Shatner in a mustache, and that was his brother Sam, killed by the what's the name of that episode? It'll come to me in a minute. But you're gonna have to try harder than that if you're gonna stump me on classic Trek. Good afternoon, Aaron, in the chat. Good to see you, Aaron. How are you today? Saw your Incredible Hulk sketch replay last night. Man, I would love watching you draw. Congratulations on Wraith of God. Thank you, GJ Martinez. I appreciate it. Danky Frankie says, I backed the Esther cover. I'm not going to look at the art. I want the whole thing to be a surprise. Okay, well, I'll tell you spoiler alerts, so you have to close your eyes whenever I do a live stream and I start drawing. Yeah, the Flying Personal Pizzas episode, but it was called, oh my gosh, I know the name of the episode. It'll come to me in a minute. Joe's probably frantically looking it up on the internet because he probably didn't even know. Okay, so I'm going to switch cameras now and get drawing because we could talk all day and that wouldn't get Fing Fang Foom drawn, would it? Okay. Obviously my new let me see what do I want to do here. My new drafting table has not shown up yet. So we're still doing this on my lap. I don't like that. I already don't like it. So let's flip this over. I'm trying to think about doing this from a more interesting angle than maybe we normally see him, but I got Paul, the late great Paul Ryan was a very good friend of mine, and when I first met him in at the Steve Miner's Seattle show, I mean, this is like way before Emerald City, and he said, "Hey, do you want to trade some pages?" And I was like, "Of course." Of course, at the time, I was like really new to the industry, and I didn't have anything good, to trade. So I felt kind of bad. So I said, let me do you a commission of like, I think I ended up doing like kind of a Kit Carter-esque Space Babe kind of thing for him. And so he like opened up his portfolio and said, pick some pages. And I was like, are you kidding me? Seriously? And he's like, yeah, whatever you want, So I was like, holy crap. So he had this Iron Man page with Fing Fang Foom on it. And I was like, yeah, can I have this? And he was like, Absolutely, you can. So I'm glad you're here.
Oh, you are? That's so nice.
Yeah, because I want you to get something for me.
Okay.
Shelly Showtime is in the house, everyone.
Hey.
You see those stack of portfolios over there?
Mm-hmm.
Because that page on top, I just sold to somebody, so don't spill coffee on it. But
Okay.
there's one of those portfolios, probably closer to the bottom, has like artwork that I've kept.
Yeah.
And would you bring that over?
How do I know?
Because
Ooh, that's cool.
what is that? Oh, that's it.
Oh my gosh. That's classic.
Okay.
Hi, Jeffrey. Did you have ice cream?
I did last night.
Oh.
Aaron, how much does one of those tablets cost? The popper. The paper? Aaron, how much? Oh, one of these paper tablets? They're
For the
$12,
the
something
pressure
like
tablet.
that. No, I think he's talking about
Oh,
he said the paper. So it's like $12, I think, something like that.
gotcha.
All right, so I hope it's in here. It's got to be. Yeah, it is. Okay, look at that. There's a Paul Ryan page
Oh, we loved Paul.
with Iron Man and FANG FOOM. So he just gives me this, and I traded him. You know, I did like a commission for him. So he did this one for me. See, it says Aaron, best wishes, Paul Ryan. And then this one says.
Well, I don't think you really explained like your guys' friendship. They were more like brothers.
We were tight.
Yeah.
You know, for living on opposite coasts. But then he gives me this FF page too thing on it. And there he says, to Aaron and Shelly, hugs and kisses.
Oh, there you go.
So Shelly got in on the act.
Yeah. I think we met them. I was pregnant with Josh.
Yeah, in Seattle. Yeah. And so then he just gave me this for some reason. I don't know why he gave me this, but he did, this Superman splash. And then look at this.
Oh, it's a
Spider-Man newspaper strip. When Paul was working on that with Stan the Man. And Joe Sennett inked it. So it's signed by Paul and Joe Sennett. How about that?
Wow. To Aaron.
To Aaron, my buddy. Oh. Really, best always, Paul. So anyway, that's the but I wanted to show you that FANG FOOM stuff because that's what I'm drawing right now.
Cool.
So anyway, there we go.
All right, Shelly.
I made Shelly sad. But so are you not tutoring today?
At 1:30.
Oh, okay.
John, I recommend that you watch our show from Sunday. Even the last 15 minutes. Oh my gosh.
The beard coloring?
Yes. I was dying. I don't think I've laughed that hard probably ever.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Actually. Why didn't he draw FANG FOOM with teeth? Doesn't he have teeth? He should have teeth.
GJ. Thank you, Frankie Dankster. Where did I see? I think you commented on something and I was like, yeah, I can't remember where it was though. Oh. Yep, Joe, that's for sure.
Now see, sometimes
me too.
Some people sometimes draw him with like little like Chinese dragon mustache things. So maybe I'll just go ahead and do that. It seems like that'd be okay, wouldn't it? You know what the problem with this, Shelly, is?
FANG FOOM.
Oh, Fing. What is it? Fin? It's not FANG FOOM. It's FANG FOOM.
Well, I think it should be Fing.
I'm ticked off.
It goes with the. Uh-oh. This is what he does.
There was nothing wrong with the drawing. I like the drawing, but it's too. I didn't put it.
Oh.
In the right space.
Hold on, lady. I'll do the PayPal.
What?
Your PayPal. Aaron at aaronlopresti.com.
Why? Someone want to send me money?
I'll just take care of it. You just draw. Do what you do. Oh, GJ, I know. First thing I do every morning is grab my coffee. Especially today. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Tobias. That's a new name.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I already read that.
Well, I haven't. All right.
Okay, well, you
So
come
back
in.
off, man.
Come in.
Take over.
Take over. Start doing stuff we've already
Yep.
done.
Hey, you know what? We might need a station break again.
Yeah, see, that's better. It's better use of the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, washed out. There we go.
There we
It's
go.
better use of the paper.
Jimmy, leg kick is here. Of course. I don't want leg kick to think that we don't appreciate him because we're like, oh, he's always here.
Well,
In
no,
an appreciative way.
No, but you can't say that he's always here because he missed
Well,
one. So
that's
he's
okay.
almost
He was
always
excused.
here.
It was an excused absence.
I don't think it was.
There's some new names. Or maybe just new for me. Well, John says I am the brains of the family.
Well, I'm not going to argue that. Anybody that can,
That's smart.
Anybody that can teach physics has bigger brain than I do. Because you can teach what I can't even learn. So
Yeah, you can. Yep.
I refuse to learn it.
This cracks me up. The mama bear. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Addicted to coffee. Oh, yeah. Be careful, GJ. You don't drink those 5 cups. You'll get quite the headache.
He kind of looks like a horse, doesn't he?
Mm.
I wonder if that was Kirby sort of was like, if that was kind of his inspiration, sort of like
Perhaps.
Kind of like Beta Ray Bill was inspired by a horse skull.
Oh.
Or so the great one Walter Simonson tells me, and I believe everything Walter tells me.
Oh. Yes.
Especially if it involves stuff that he drew, because he would know.
Yeah. All right, Jeffrey. Decaf coffee.
That's not really
like,
coffee.
What's the point?
Exactly. It's not even really coffee, is it?
Like alcohol-free beer. What is the point? It does have a little bit of caffeine in it still, though.
Even if it's caffeine free?
If it says decaf, there's still a little bit.
So it's kind of lying then, right?
Well, it's a suggestion that it's caffeine free.
It's an untruthful beverage.
I don't know. I just have a little bit of coffee with my creamer, so I'm not really sure.
You're actually drinking coffee?
Yeah.
I don't know if you should be on during the week, Shelley, because it's like we're giving them Sunday show material without the Sunday show.
So you telling me you want me to leave?
No,
Is that it?
No.
Well, my student will be here soon, so.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you should probably leave.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying.
Of
course I'm not saying that. So there was a new show on last night.
Yeah.
On
Decaf is just dirty water.
Yeah. Shelley, if you're going to be here, you've got to work the board.
Oh, sorry.
Jeez.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Estravaco says, it's a sneak preview of the Sunday show. Incentive to tune in. Exactly.
Hey,
that's what it is.
That's it. I'm going to take the banner down. Just so they get the full FANG FOOM.
Yeah. Now see, let's take a look at smaller FANG FOOM here, where he was kind of, his head was pushing,
high.
I was going to do something with the neck, but his neck is so long, I couldn't really do anything with it. So I thought, let's focus on the head. And actually, I like this drawing better anyway. So, what is Joe Bernardo said something, he was trying to pitch a story to, I told Graham an idea I had for a mummy story. He didn't like it. So I told Andy Smith, and he said it was good. But see, Andy, you can't really trust Andy. But he said it was like he was responding to a woman asking if she looked fat in this dress.
Oh. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Well, Jeffrey, yeah, restrict that caffeine. You look at that one heart. See, I have to have caffeine. Otherwise, I'd probably end up in jail.
Are you saying kill me?
Teenagers without coffee. Ugh, scary. Danger.
Okay, so I was saying
Oh, I'm sorry,
before you
before I rudely
interrupted
interrupted
me
you.
that there was like there's a creep show.
A
Do you remember
what?
that
A
movie?
peep show?
No, it's a creep
Oh,
show.
my bad.
Yeah, this is the same girl that thought that, or the same lady that thought Dick Blix was a porn site.
No,
So
I did
you
not.
did too.
I know.
You
Tell the story right.
go ahead. I want to hear your version because apparently it's different than mine.
Well, when you said go to Dick Blick, so I just wrote Dick's and it came up with.
No.
Oh no, that was
that's
Rick's girl.
Yeah. Okay. Look at. Okay. Okay. Apparently, I have to tell the story.
I
So
haven't even finished my first cup of coffee because I've only been up for an hour.
I went online. This was many moons ago, and when I had just discovered Dick Blix online to order some art supplies, and so then Shelley goes in, and then there's like this. You know how there's like history in your email, and she's like on the email going, "What the heck is this? What are you doing?" You know, thinking. She goes, "Is this some kind of porn site or something?" And I go, "Click on it." It was an art supply. She goes, "Oh, well, why would they name it Dick's?"
That's horrible.
Oh my gosh! And
Oh
so,
my gosh.
but the other one was we used to go to this site. It was called what was it called? It was Rick's Movie.
Yeah, Rick's movie posters or something.
Yeah, but
And I
it
just
was Rick's
Googled
something.
Rick's.
No, you didn't Google. You just typed in the window
Oh.
www.ricks, and she went and it took her to Rick's Girls,
Woo!
which was an
Which
online.
gave me self-esteem issues.
Yeah. So
well, you know.
yeah. So Shelley's the one that can't be trusted around the internet. It's not me.
Apparently, can't be trusted at all. But
so
oh my gosh.
okay, now can I
So
finish my
Jeffrey's
story about
saying
my?
that's a scary hairy wrist. Well, it is October.
Yeah, it's not a full moon though.
Not
Either.
the neck. Yep. Okay, not the neck.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a shirt. This is not the neck or a hat.
So there was a movie in the 80s called Creepshow.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I remember that's where it started. Okay.
And well, so it was listed on AMC last night, and I thought, well, I'll watch that while I'm working. And it turned out to be a new TV series called Creepshow.
Oh.
Apparently, like based on the movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And it was so drawn out, and I mean, I knew where it was going, but it was so drawn out. I started getting bored, and I turned it off. I turned off
a monster thing.
a monster thing because I was bored. So I don't know if any of you guys saw that last night, but I know how it ended because I knew where it was going. Well, I don't know how it ended, but I knew where it was going.
Yeah.
And but I was just like, dude, you're taking way too long to get there.
All right,
So-
John, you better explain that.
What?
Good time, Shelley.
Well, she is good time, Shell. John knows.
Hey now.
John's known
Hey
you
now.
since the beginning.
I know. Wonder if have I changed, John? Have I become more jaded? I've changed in appearance, that's for sure. But you know. Ooh.
You've gotten nicer.
Classroom would be a barroom brawl. Yes. With me leading it. Although I don't have to really teach freshmen this year, so my sanity is much more intact. Well, the little I have. Randy's here.
Randy Howell coming in from Canada.
Oh, for the better. Oh, you're so smart, John.
He values his life.
Yep. So Randy just came in. Says, not sure what you're drawing, but it reminds him of his old boss.
This is Fang Foom, not Fang Foom.
Right.
Finn.
What if you did FANG FOOM? We could just do all sorts of.
Now, those of you who read Damage, did you read Damage, Shelley?
I can't say that I did.
No. When was the last comic I did that you read? When was it?
Read the whole comic book?
Hmm.
Read the whole thing? Read the whole story?
Yeah. Let me help
Let
you.
me think about that for a minute.
Let me help you. Was it Sludge number 4 where you appeared as a main character in the story?
I looked at the pictures.
But you just still didn't read it?
I didn't read it.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh.
Just, getting the truth out there.
Yep. Ooh, John says that you like a fine wine.
Okay.
Nice. Yep. Victor says he changes every day. Oh, that's how I explain teenagers. They never know what they're going to wake up in what body. But I love them so.
As well you should.
All 18 I have this year. Ugh.
Hey,
Still is a bit much for me, I gotta admit. Well,
it's way better than the good old days at public high
yeah,
school
when
where
I
you
had over
were.
220 kids. But yeah, it's just the vertical time is hard. Frau Bruca? Like kick.
Is it?
Ah!
This is not. My dog just pulled a Scooby-Doo, and he was like trying to run on the floor, and his legs were just spinning.
All right, time to go teach some kiddo.
Would you close the door after
I
you?
will.
Thank you. The dog's going to be barking for. Okay. Anyway, so Shelly's off to tutor to change the mind and fortunes of America's youth, or at least one youth. The way our dog barks, I'm surprised any kids will come over here. They're scared to death. I'd like to say, I hope you guys can't hear that, but I know that you can. So it sounds like a kennel in here right now. I'm sorry. Boo! That was so lame, Jeff. I'm not even going to slap you for it. Are you kidding me? Marvel really dragged that character down when they made him a bus boy and put him into therapy? What? Oh, what has happened to comics? That's exactly what's going on down there. The kid's getting just like tore up, you know. What was the Ferris Bueller's Day Off? The principal. It's played by Jeffrey Jones, who's now in jail for having child pornography. So not a great guy apparently, but he got chewed up pretty good by the dog as he was trying to catch Ferris skipping school. Yes, Ed Rooney. That's right, Aaron. Just enjoying the drawing by you. That's all right, Aaron. Just enjoying the drawing, despite the dog barking. Well, I appreciate that, guys. That you know, the one thing about live streaming at home, you know, there's no escaping the sounds of living at home. I don't know if we had known that these schnauzers bark as just brutally as they do. I don't know if we would have got one. I mean, he is hilarious. I mean, my gosh, they're just, as a breed of dog, they're incredibly funny and entertaining, which when I get a dog, I have to get a dog that provides entertainment value because there's so much work in taking care of them, and that a lot of that work falls on me. That I want entertainment value to make up for the pain and suffering that I have to endure with a dog. So, and I hate cats, so don't even get me started on that. But I do like dogs. It's just they're a lot of work. I mean, any pet is a lot of work, and so I wanted to get one that was entertaining. And this dog is very entertaining, but man, he creates things to bark at. You know, most dogs wait till they actually hear a noise before they start barking. He thinks he hears noises and starts barking. So. Now I wonder, if I should give you a what's Aaron working on update. I can't show you what I'm working on but I can tell you that the pop-up book is moving along quite nicely, and we'll be done with that in less than a week. And that's the last remaining thing I have on my schedule that is not Wraith of God related. So then I will go to working on pages full time, but I also will get back to working on that print, that stretch goal print that all of you who backed the campaign, which I assume is all of you, will be getting. And that's going to be kind of a fun journey because I've got to, I'm going to go through all the stages of preparing that for a painting. And so that'll be something I'll be doing on the side. And then I got my sticker set, which I will show you that art as I get that done for the sticker set. But I got some people helping me out on that as well. And then, so there'll be a lot of stuff that connected to Wraith of God that you guys will get to see that won't necessarily be pages ruining the story for you. One of the issues I did of Ms. Marvel, well, it was actually more of a story arc. It was the last story arc of Ms. Marvel that I worked on. Brian Reed, of course, was the writer, and he like most writers that I've worked with that have been, very generous, would always say, anything you want to draw in particular, Aaron? And I would always say, well, if you can work in some monsters, or what if we do some Kirby monsters or something? And so the last story arc was she goes to, Monster Isle, or whatever the heck it's technically called in the Marvel universe, where they keep all these monsters, these giant Kirby monsters. And I got to draw like a bunch of them. And which those of you who read Damage will remember that I did kind of a similar thing with Damage, because DC has its own little monster isle where apparently Kong Gorilla hangs out and keeps the monsters under control. But anyway, I got to draw several of the Kirby monsters in this Ms. Marvel story, and but I didn't draw Fang Foom. He wasn't in there for some reason. Can't remember if they didn't want us messing with him because they were doing something else with him, or the monsters weren't really the thrust of the story. So maybe he was too well known of a monster to, kind of just toss in the story randomly. So that may be why we didn't end up using him. But I did get like several other ones, more obscure Kirby creations from his work on, Journey into Mystery and Strange Tales and Tales of Suspense and Tales to Astonish, all before those became superhero titles. There's two things as a collector. There's two things that you can always sell: Spider-Man comics and old Kirby monster books. And so I do collect some Kirby monster books when I can find them. But just the not all of them, just the covers that I really like. That tends to motivate my collecting these days, is covers that I like. I'm contemplating getting an issue of the Atom right now. I'm a big, for some reason, I got a soft spot for the Atom, and it's not a very you know, from a collector standpoint, from a value standpoint, it's not a great series to collect because it's not really valuable. But there's a couple covers that I really like, and I've got one of them. But there's another one up on eBay right now. It's like a graded 9.2, and it's a really good price. But it's like do I want to spend $100 on a comic book that's really never going to be worth more than the money I spent on it? But I really like the cover, so I'm probably going to cave in and do it anyway. I don't collect the Flash either, but there's some Neil Adams covers that I really like. I'm trying to hold this so that there we go. I wonder if this, every time I do, I think if I turn this light off over here, it won't wash out as bad, but then I turn it off and it doesn't do anything, so I'm just going to leave it on. Fun thing with working on it, something like this, is you can just, again, with monsters, you can put as much detail, as much line work, you know, as much scaling, whatever, as you want in there. And no one's going to say, wow, that doesn't work. Let's see, I need to get caught up with what's being said. Sequential versus oh, wait a minute, I gotta go back even farther. Oh, wait, there's dog talk. Okay, we got past that. Fool Killer 3644 says, I enjoyed the Marvel Holiday Special where FANG FOOM saves Christmas. I have a vague remembrance of that. That's right. Friends of Old Marvel. That's right. That's FOOM. That was the fan magazine you could get. Here we go. I love Astonishing Tales 24 with FANG FOOM showing off his karate skills against It, the Living Colossus. Oh, I know. Isn't that a great one? I don't have that, but I wish I did. Actually, what I want to get is Journey into Mystery number 62, which is the first appearance of Zemnu, the Living Titan. I love Zemnu, but he was called the Hulk in that issue, and he was brown. He wasn't white. And that's kind of an expensive book, and it's really hard to find in anything better than just ultra crappy conditions. So I'm still looking for that book. Is there a character that I want to see FANG FOOM interact with but didn't? I think It, the Living Colossus that's it right there, man. That is, I have that book in reprint because they reprinted a lot of those in, help me out, Astonishing Tales. I want to say, I think with issue 21, they started reprinting those old Kirby monster stories, but with new Gil Kane covers and like It, the Living Colossus and things like that. In fact, I'm going to double check that right now because it, what did I say? Astonishing Tales? Yeah. Let's see what I can come up with. Yeah, there it is, right there. Allow me to share. Because I like to, as I like to say, that's my back, by the way. I like to share. I'm a sharing person. So there we go. Astonishing Tales 21, It, the Living Colossus. Now, that's a really cool new Gil Kane cover. But that is, that's a reprint of a Kirby story. And so this is right in between when they had Kazar stories, and then they had Deathlock stories. But in between there, they had like several issues of of monster reprints, but they had new Kirby covers, which makes them, you know, very sort of desirable, at least to me, just for the covers. Here we go. I think now there's it, the Living Colossus fighting Granitor. I have all of these. Where's the one that where he's fighting FANG FOOM? I know there's one in here. Right there it is. So that's number 24. That's FANG FOOM fighting it, the Living Colossus. That is what comics are all about, ladies and gentlemen, right there. That would be fun to kind of do my own like giant Kirby monster comic. Graham and I would probably fight over who got to do it first. See, now that just started working in my mind, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I should do that. Wouldn't that be cool? But I think it's like one of those things that I don't know how many of you out there would actually dig something like that. That's why I got to be careful, you know, stuff that, oh my gosh, I think that would be so cool. But how many people actually would really think that would be cool other than me? So I have to temper my my enthusiasm for weird stuff. Let's see. I guess the only, let me see here. Thank you, Frank says, you did Ms. Marvel, the first trade. I bought it because the art was so great. The cover image was iconic. Wasn't a big fan of the writing, not to be rude. Well, I don't know if I'm in the first trade or the second trade because I didn't take over until, when did I take over? 13 or issue 13 or 14 or something. So it might have been the tail end of the first trade, or it might have been the second trade. I don't remember. I'd have to go check my bookshelf in my trades, which I could do. I could get up and walk over and check my trades. Wasn't there a weird Warren Ellis series called Next Wave where FANG FOOM vomited up a whole town's worth of people he swallowed? Go for shock. We don't have anything new to add. I don't know if that's true or not, but it probably is. Aaron, will you be doing your sketchbook stuff? Yeah, if you order one, I will. He goes, this is a ROM fan. Kevin Thomas is a ROM fan. Bill Mantlo. Bill Mantlo was actually a pretty good writer. He actually was. I enjoyed his stuff most of the time. Yeah, I'm I don't actually have many sketchbooks left because I dedicated them to the campaign as an add-on tier for the campaign, and like a lot of stuff in the campaign, it sold really well, better than I expected, and so I'm almost out of them. But yeah, Joe, I do the sketches, and that's basically kind of a special deal for my YouTube audience. I don't really do it because I do them super cheap, and the reason I do them super cheap is because it provides me content for my channel, but also it's kind of like a little reward for you guys that watch watch my videos and put up with this nonsense. But I'm not doing sketches in the books that are being offered through the campaign, and I may not do many more. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, Joe, if you're interested in something like that, message me and we'll figure out something. All right, I can't take it anymore. Talk amongst yourselves for a second while I grab that Ms. Marvel trade paperback. Okay. So this is the one. This is the trade that has my stuff in it. Now it has Delatorre. Robert Delatorre started it. Yeah, I took over with issue 13. So where am I? My stuff is, fabulous, of course. Yeah, so here we go. This that actually is my first issue right there. Those are what's his face? The cover artist did those. Dang it, can't think of his name. Greg Horn. So yeah, so we start off with a downtown splash page of Indianapolis, which was a pain in the butt because I hate drawing buildings, but there I did it anyway. But then we have Iron Man show up, which you can't get enough Iron Man. And got some sort of mutation going on here. Very unattractive. And then, so Iron Man and Ms. Marvel's in her little biohazard suit. But see, this is the good old days when she would have wore her costume underneath her bio suit, where in today's comics, she probably wouldn't even been wearing a costume. Oh, now she's getting pissed off at Tony Stark, so she punches him. We got a big splash page of Ms. Marvel punching Iron Man. Now, the funny thing is, I gave this to my inker instead of taking it like a fool, because there's another splash page in here that I wanted. And I always make sure that I don't rip off my inker friends. I ended up taking this Spider-Woman splash page because I figured people are going to want to buy this more than this. But I kind of wish I'd kept this now just because it's got Iron Man on it. And I don't really draw Iron Man that much. So there she is talking to her counselor. There's some more Iron Man. There's plenty of Iron Man in this issue. And no, don't ask me if I have any of these pages left for sale because they're all gone, with the exception of a few. Now, let me show you this page. This page with the whole Marvel universe fighting each other here. There's Venom and Spidey and some giant chick, Falcon, FF, Cap, Iron Man. I still have this page. I kept this page. This is like, destitute or retirement money. So, oh, look, MODOK. I kept all these MODOK pages too. Because I love MODOK. Because he's a big head sitting in a chair. Anyway, so yeah, there's a couple of trades, Ms. Marvel trades. But that's the first one. Well, this is pre-Bree, so you don't have to worry about that. That's right. Hugh Jackman, since he's Aaron's lookalike, that's right. Everybody says that. Well, here's the problem with doing Wraith of God. You never get to see the Wraith, okay? You get to see him in disguise, but you don't get to see him what he really looks like. And so it'd have to be an actor that wouldn't be too uptight about, it's kind of like The Mandalorian, how they almost they never showed his face until like almost the end. So finding an actor that would be okay being in disguise all the time would probably be hard to do. Of course, if they wrote it for TV show or movie, they would probably change some of that so that so to satisfy an actor's ego, so that his face would actually be on screen more. But it's kind of like getting someone to be Darth Vader, right? So I guess what would you do? You hire a body actor, just get a stuntman. Okay, you're the Wraith, and then do someone else to voice him. Might do that. Look at that. Brohawk Williams made the same mistake I did. Fing Fang Foom. It's Fin Fang Foom. I was corrected earlier. Thank you, Fox. I appreciate that. I would have much rather, thank you, Istravaco. I appreciate that. I'd much rather have done the covers as well. In fact, that's sort of the story that led to me leaving Marvel. Josh, what do I charge for these? I charge. What do I charge for these? Probably 150. So I don't know if my Hulk that I drew the other night or Sunday night counts as part of the monster drawings of October, because it's on 11 by 14 and not 9 by 12 paper. And I was kind of forced into doing it by Shelley because she wasn't ready to do the beard thing. So, and I wasn't really planning on drawing Sunday. So I don't know if it officially counts. So if I do the Hulk, I may have to do the Hulk again. Sequential Treasure says the Hulk counts. Okay. Let me show the Hulk. I 11 by 14. Fing Fang Foo's, So I did the Hulk. So we've got the Thing, the Hulk, and now Fin Fang. I can't even say it. Fin Fang Foom. So as soon as I get through noodling here. I should do Zemnu the Living Titan, although it'd take me about 5 minutes. But I bet I could do something cool, some whiteout and stuff with him. I might do that. I love Zemnu the Living Titan. There's a great cover to Marvel Feature number 3, which has the Defenders in it and Zemnu. It's a Gil Kane cover again, and it's just incredible. I love it. So I do try to collect all of these Zemnu the Living Titan appearances, but there's not many. He appeared in a couple issues of I said Defenders, but it was actually, I think, Marvel. No, I take that back. It was Marvel Feature 3, but then he was like in Defenders issue number 12 or something like that. And then there was like the couple issues of Journey into Mystery he was in. But I don't know when else he's been on the cover. And I don't collect anything post 1980, so if there was any like later appearances in the 80s or 90s when he's on the cover, I wouldn't grab those anyway because I don't collect those. Aaron Dunn Zemnu in 11 by 14 size, so you can get more of his body in the image. Yeah, I could do that. Ooh, I could do Marvel Zombies. That's good. That's a good suggestion right there. There was a 2016 animated film, Hulk, where monsters dwell. How about that? I didn't know that. Look at that. Fool Killer agrees with me. He loves Zemnu. Ooh, Zombie Simon Garth. That's a good one, too. Okay, so Sequential Treasure says the Hulk counts, but if you do the Hulk again, do the gray one. So it does count, but if you do them again, do the gray one. Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that, and what you're seeing now in the independent market, like for example, just use my campaign, Wraith of God, that has been fairly successful. That I think more and more creators are realizing, we don't have to put up with this crap. We can do our own thing and do okay with it. So you're seeing a lot more creators jump into the waters of self-publishing, or at least independent, or create our own stuff through independent companies. But I think for me, I do like the concept of a shared universe. I do like multiple character options, which is something I'm going to try and do rather than just focus on one character like Wraith of God. But I also have to sort of keep it reined in a little bit so you don't go, completely crazy and have, every 6 months doing, a bunch of new characters and expecting everybody to be interested in all the characters, or at least keep up with what you're attempting to do. So I have to temper my enthusiasm a little bit, and which I think I'm going to do. But boy, it would really be cool to get like a couple of guest artists and do like a monster book or something, just to like um, giant monsters like Kirby monsters, or I've been thinking of doing like a anthology House of Mystery type book, and I get like Kelly Jones or somebody like that to do a story, and all the stories would be connected. I've got a host for the book already designed, and the book would be the Tomb of Terror. And although I think there was already a Tomb of Terror in the 50s, but who cares? Do it anyway. And so you'd have like this host, and he would be kind of involved in his own little story as he's telling, or these other stories that these other people are, contributing to the book, and then it all ties in at the end. And something like that would be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm not short on ideas. Yeah, I think that's enough line work. Said I could noodle on this thing all freaking day long, but I won't. Because, yeah, sadly, I have to get back to working on the pop-up book. I'll do a little outline here. This is a warm gray 4 that I'm outlining with. It seems to be running a bit dry. So refill is in my future. I know I've got a smaller, a 9x12 gray pad too, and I'd like to use that as well if I can find it. Studio's such a mess. I'm putting way too much work into this for 150 bucks, but hey, Josh Olive gets to reap the rewards. And I'll just put a little bit of shading in here. And we'll find the old 0.08 micron here to sign my work. All right. I don't even know if FANG FOOM has eyes, but this one does. Oh yeah, he does. Boy, there's truth into that. You know, you're just like, oh, I'll just do a few more lines in here, a few more lines in here, a few more lines. This Travaco says so good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Sequential treasure, perfection. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, well, first of all, there's no such thing, JBot, as a cheap marker. So the good thing about Copics is you can refill them. So you don't have to. So yeah, they're $5 and whatever a piece, but that's why I don't have colored ones, because I'm not going to spend $2,000 and get every single color. But I do get the gray ones, which are very you can get 20 gray ones for $100, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood, and that allow you to get warm 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0, and cold or cool 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and neutral 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And that can cover all your grays. And that's all I use, is I don't use the colored markers, but I do use the tonal ones, because you can do a lot of nice work just with tonal, black and white tonal, or gray, as the case would be. Because remember, the cool markers lean towards the blue spectrum. The warm markers lean towards the yellow, and the neutral are just basically neutral charcoal gray type stuff. So by putting warm grays next to cool grays, you can get more of a yellowish orange feel with the warm grays, and the cool grays will feel more blue. So you can actually sort of pretend you're getting color use out of them. But I don't even know if Copics are the best markers. I just use them because I've been using them for so long. But they are refillable, and so they're supposed to be archival. Whether they are or not, I guess time will tell, right? But I mean, it would be cheaper to get watercolors, but watercolors are, then you got cleanup and stuff that you don't necessarily have with the Copic markers. So there is a convenience aspect to being able to use the markers. So you might get a couple, and just test it out, see how you like them. I will say that using markers, the key to using markers is very similar to the key to using watercolors. Don't overwork it. You want to lay them down quick, and the way that you maintain control is, that's why you use the grays, because you can start and lay down a 0 gray. Then you can lay say a 2 over the top of that, and you can go back and blend it with a 0. Then you can put some darker in with a 3 or a 4, and that allows you sort of to build up your values slowly, and then you feel more in control of what you're doing. But it takes time to learn how to use them correctly. I was in a commercial art studio, and we had to do, before I got into comics, and we did commercial storyboards all the time, and all of the storyboards we did for commercials, unlike film, when you're doing commercials, they want those markered up and colored. So we would use marker bond paper, which is a very thin but resilient paper that's made especially for markers. And so we'd do our drawings, and we'd ink them with we used to ink with Niji stylists, but those things will vanish over time. So I don't even think they make them anymore because they're such crap. But use a Micron or whatever, ink it, and then you go over it with markers, colored markers or whatever. And that's how I learned to use markers, was doing storyboards. And you had to do it quick. So you learn how to lay the marker down just like you would a watercolor. You do it quickly, and so you don't overwork it, because once you overwork it, it starts bleeding together and it just looks like crap. So you have to lay the stuff down quick, but you have to get comfortable laying the marker down quickly, so that it looks good when you do it. So there's practice involved in it, but it is a more convenient way than using watercolors. But there is advantages to using watercolors or acrylic as well. So it's just a different tool. So why am I still working on this after I signed it? I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. There's FANG FOOM with all the little line work and some marker stuff on there. See, if I was a real artist, I'd probably charge like $200 or more for this, but I already said 150, so there it is. Josh Olive gets it for 150. And there we go. So let's stop looking at my shirt and bring up my presentable face now that I have a brown beard instead of a gray beard, and I look so much younger. Now, Aviator Surge is giving us some physics, and Shelley, if she was here instead of downstairs tutoring, she would probably be going, wow, there you go. Yeah, there is. That's true. Blick does do their own markers. So there is cheaper ways to kind of experiment and get used to using markers before you start spending big money. See, Josh was on my good side, but now he's on my bad side. That's all he has is one bad comment, get you in the doghouse. Randy, that's an excellent point. The dragon looks hungry, and so am I. You know what? I am too. I haven't had lunch yet, and it's 2 o'clock here on the West Coast, and maybe even later where you guys are at. So anyway, let's don't go away yet. Let's do a quick review. So this was I actually did a little color on this one. This was the very first monster sketch for the month, and that was the Thing. And then I'm told we have to count the Hulk. We did some color on him as well. That was number 2. And then, of course, number 3, Fang Foom. Fang Foom. So there we go. So 3 monsters down, countless more to go, and plenty of days to get them done in. So that's right. Istrovago recognizes the real thing because he's got a stogie. If you've been turned into a rock creature, I don't know that you're worried about lung cancer. I think you're, figuring, how much more bad luck can the guy have, right? So maybe he's like George Burns. He could smoke forever and, still live to be 100. So now see, Josh is trying to make up now. He's trying to make peace after his rude comment. But, that's the way to do it. Bring up some good points and... So I appreciate that. Thank you. I could. That's true. If you can live through cosmic rays, you can certainly, you would think that Stogie would be okay. Hey, Komanga's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Komanga. Master Man Lepresti, that would be me. Oh, Mr. Vago, look at that. He's begging for the Wraith of God trailer. So, okay. I paid good money for that. So let's take a look at the Wraith of God trailer, which you can still order because even though the campaign is officially over, it's not really over because it's in demand. So it's kind of acts as a store. You can go in there and, order a comic or whatever before I go to press, which won't be till January. So it's going to be open for a while. Rock and roll, baby. Let's take a look real quick here where we're at. $106,174 we've raised, and we have 1,495 backers. Boy, can't wait to get to 1,500. That was kind of my goal. Was like if I could get to 1,500 backers, I would really, feel good about the exposure that the campaign was getting, and we're practically there. We'll get there, obviously, before it's all said and done. So that's where we're at. That's I think that's looking good. So you can still now. Let me go over this real quickly here since I was urged to do this. So the story is, if you're not familiar, the story is in the American West of 1883, the Wraith is a mysterious hero with a dark past who's relentlessly driven to administer the wrath of God on the evil supernatural forces that contaminate the land. A master of illusion and disguise, the Wraith is aided by a former Salvation Army worker named Esther, who frequently finds herself at odds with her mentor. It's a race against time and death as together they try to stop a pack of werewolves from obtaining a mystical amulet that will make them invincible. Wow, I want to read that. So there's your cover A option. Cover B option, which is our retro cover that harkens back to Gil Kane. And then, of course, the Esther cover C, that gives a little love to our femme fatale of this series. No, she's not a femme fatale, but she's the co-star of the series. And then we have story pages. One, we open up, it's evening around the old campfire at Blazing Saddles, but it gets rough really quick as the Wraith shows up. He's not too happy with these hombres. Why isn't he too happy with them? Well, in fact, he's so unhappy with him, he just shoots this guy in the eye and he falls into the fire and catches on fire. The other guy's like, I'm getting the heck out of here. Are you kidding me? But no, you can't get away from the Wraith. And here we have some pencil drawings of page 4 where he tackles this dude. And this guy says something like, how did you know? Or I don't know, something like that. I have to go back and look at the script. Now, I know what he says. He says, I don't know who you are. And then he says, I'm your judgment or something like that. Then he says, in a minute, the full moon will be out, and then and he's like, you don't have a minute. And blows his head off. And so then we find the other guy who was running from hiding behind the rock, and the full moon creeps out finally, and he's like, finally, and he starts to change. And so then we go back to the Wraith, and here's the dude he just killed, and he's kind of looking him over, and he's like, ooh, he's got a tattoo of the Brotherhood of the Wolf. That's not good. So he doesn't like to take any chances with people that could be werewolves, so he lights them on fire. And we do a little Stranko panel thing here as we watch the match fall through space. And of course, in a comic book, people light on fire from a match like instantly. They don't, it doesn't take a while for them to smolder. He goes up in flames. And the Wraith runs off after the other cowboy who's already changed into a werewolf and is waiting for him and jumps him. And the excitement just goes right off the page. So, and then I'm not going to show you the next page because it's kind of fun. And you just have to wait for that. This is the Esther trading card that everybody that backs gets. You get this card for free. It just, for ordering a book, boom, you get this card. And there'll be like little Esther information on the back of the card. This is a limited edition, what we call a mini print. It's basically the same size as the comic, but this is very limited because I think only about less than 300 people have ordered it. So you actually have to order it. So that's kind of cool, and that's available. This, of course, is the card that goes to only the people that signed up early for the campaign before it went live. And so to get the Wraith card, you would have had to have signed up early. If you didn't sign up early, I will have a few of these extra that I'll probably be selling if you're a card completist. So, and then let's take a look at all the stretch goals that we've hit and what you get. So you get these if you signed up. I mean, if you bought, even if you just bought one, I want cover A and that's all I want, you get all this stuff. Okay, you get the Empire Comics sticker. That's just basically the Empire Comics logo sticker. So you can stick that on your forehead or whatever. Although I would suggest hanging on to these stickers and not using them because they're probably going to be worth money because they're going to be very rare. Ooh, I forgot about this. This is fun. So the Lopresti-verse retro editorial page with character value stamp added to the book. That's right. Those of you who remember the old days in the 70s, Marvel had, they would have their their bullpen bulletin page, and they would have like a stamp there of like one of their characters, one of the Marvel characters, and kids would cut them out and collect all the stamps. So you have to be careful when you're buying 70s books that you don't get a book that someone cut the stamp out of. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to do an editorial page that basically describes, it's going to have bulletins like with all the Lopresti-verse characters, right? If they had their own series, right? And what I'd be saying that month about them. So it's kind of a little preview, although you don't get any art. It will kind of preview the all the Lopresti-verse. And then, but you will get a character stamp down there. So it'll be up to you whether or not you want to cut it out. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you could. So that comes. And then what do we got here? 50,000. We hit 50,000 really early, like on day 3 or something, maybe day 2. And so this is, and I'll be honest with you, I was going to add this anyway, but the 3-page epilogue will be added to the story that connects the Wraith of God with the rest of the Lopresti-verse. So in other words, we're taking Wraith of God from 1883, and you're saying, how does that connect to the modern Lopresti-verse characters? Well, you're going to find out, and it's a jaw dropper. So you'll be digging that. At 60,000, every backer receives an all-new collectible Esther card. We just showed that. Then we have a limited edition signed mini print previewing the next Wraith adventure. Now, some of you who watch my live streams have seen that, and we'll do more of that in the weeks ahead. That's going to be an actual oil painting. So I'm actually kind of psyched to do that. But I'm working on the layout. I've done a couple different versions of the layout on live streams, but we'll revisit that. So that's kind of like the other print that I showed you, but everybody gets this one. You don't have to buy it. You get it for free. It comes with your purchase. Now this is the fun one. Every backer receives for free a sticker set. It was going to be 3 stickers, but then when we hit 90,000, I expanded it to 6 stickers. So it'll be stickers of 6 different characters or teams in the Lopresti-verse. And I haven't decided on which ones I'm going to put in the sticker set, although there definitely will be Wraith of God, obviously. There'll be Kit Carter and Garbage Man. Those 3 for sure will be in the set. And then the other 3, we'll see. And then 100,000, we unlocked this baby. And this is special guest artist title page added to the book. I really felt like, looking back, that I didn't want the epilogue that reveals the connective threads to the universe. I didn't want them. I didn't want you to finish Wraith of God, be the last page, and go, oh, and then look over and start the epilogue. I wanted something to separate it. So I am employing a very good cover artist to come in and do a title page right there that will separate the end of the Wraith story from the epilogue. So it'll say something like, Wraith of God special epilogue or whatever, and there'll be this great piece of art, and you'll turn it and read the 3-page epilogue. And
you're on camera.
Well, I'm just about ready to wrap up. So
Cool.
So anyway,
Do you have a tier or a stretch goal for like $1 million?
yeah, if we hit $1 million, then things are really going to get crazy.
Okay. Very looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, you colored it, so you have to take credit for that. So anyway, that's all the stuff that that goes on with this. And oh boy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frankie says, I was tempted by the retro cover. Many people were tempted by the retro cover.
Yeah.
Randy Howell says, $14.95 backers. We're celebrating it. That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank you. You're part of that, and I appreciate it. All you guys.
Huge part of it.
Salem 7. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
Aaron, you haven't answered the Star Trek trivia without Googling it. The real Star Trek. Oh, the episode is
Newman.
with the flying. Well, I told you what was in the episode.
Doesn't that count?
Danky, are you not paying attention? Will the Esther cover be color, or will it always be line art?
Color.
Dude, there it is.
Not the card. That's a cover.
What did he say? Yeah, he said the cover.
I'm
The cover will
sorry,
be
I'm
color.
illiterate.
That's it, Danky.
Yeah,
It's
it would be
color,
it.
baby. Okay. It was
Mirror, mirror.
no,
I'm kidding.
it's those flying.
Your beard reminds me of mirror, mirror. Oh. Oh, I get one? Oh, I get one.
Logical.
You get that. Doggone it. All right, I can't think of the episode's name. It's
Come on.
I can't believe I can't think of it. Okay. Would you ever release a line art edition? Color is dope, but your line work is just old school. Beautiful. Thank you.
Oh.
A lot of people have asked me about that. When I say
Yeah.
a lot of people, I mean like 5. So I'd have to have more people interested than just 5 people
Well.
and me doing a black and white version. But
Maybe we can do that in demand.
when the well, what I could do is I could offer it up as probably something in the next campaign as well.
I was thinking that too. Having that
As
as
like
one
a
of
black
the...
and white special edition or something.
Uh-huh.
As something. So,
Uh-huh. Pause.
I could be wrong, but showing art is the best sales tool there is. I just showed art.
Oh,
Maybe you're
yeah.
complimenting me on my good
Yeah,
choice.
that's
Maybe
how I
that's what he's
took
doing. Yeah. I can't wait to get my Esther rookie card. Yeah. Past Master Dan says, "Hey, Shelly, showtime."
Hi.
You were just on camera.
Just got done. I know. Just got done tutoring.
Look at that. See, Mike, even though Mike's not as old as me, he gave into his temptation for the retro cover. He has no regrets, and you should.
La Revolution.
Yeah, you should never have regrets.
No, life's too short.
Line work would be sweet. D. Barry's on board with that, so we'll see.
Hey, D.
Once I get the whole thing done and I look at it in its entirety and say this really looks good in black and white, then maybe I'll do that.
It will, you know.
I know, but yeah, so we'll see. I might do that. I might just do that. So anyway, that's all we got, gang. I appreciate you immensely for not only backing Wraith of God. Oh, Shelly just pushed out of camera. Not only backing Wraith of God, but watching the channel, supporting the videos, all that kind of stuff. So please remember to like and subscribe. And there's probably a super good chance I'll be back tomorrow with another monster drawing.
Well, if I was a betting woman,
You might be.
I'd bet over
It's
under.
very possible. Very possible I'll be back. So anyway, guys,
Thanks,
thank
sir.
you. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. And, I'll see you before you know it.
Yep.